Hi, I'm Chris.
And I'm Jeremy.
And I'm Fergal.
And we're from Movie Smash.
Comic book movies are having a golden age right now with the MCU.
Movies based on comics aren't necessarily a new thing, but they're a big thing.
Join us every other Tuesday on Movie Smash.
We explore these movies and find some hidden gems.
Every other week, we revisit some of the best.
And some of the worst movies based on comics or graphic novels.
Was Green Lantern as bad as you remember?
Heck no!
Is Time Cop the most accurate time travel movie ever created?
Absolutely.
Was Mystery Men way ahead of its time?
Should they be revisited? Should they be forgotten?
Join us on Movie Smash and find out. Listen wherever you find your fine podcasts.
Okay, everybody, welcome to the latest episode of All2ReelToo. My name is Michael E. Cullen II, and with me, as always, is...
Sesame, paper, and Carta.
Paper.
Yeah.
Do you like paper?
I do.
Yes. Paper is a very useful thing. You can write on it. You can wipe your ass with it. You can do a lot of things with paper.
You can make paper airplanes and throw them around.
Yeah.
You can wrap like food in it, like wrappers, or not wrappers, as in like physical wrappers. Well, I guess they could use paper too.
You could wrap you could put a wrapper in it, you know? Yeah.
Yeah. It'd be a lot of paper, but you could.
Yeah. Yes. You can wrap up a wrapper in paper. Yes. One Jay-Z to go, please. Something like that,
Oh, God.
So, anywho, today on the show, we are talking about the new Peacock television series, The Paper, the spinoff of The Office. We've got a couple guests joining us, Brady Kesling from the Holy Toledo Podcast, and Cheryl Lightfoot from the American International Podcast. So here's our review. I'd like to welcome our guests here for this episode. Can you tell us a little bit about yourselves? We'll start with you, Cheryl.
Hi, my name is Cheryl Lightfoot. I am a podcaster. I co-host with my partner, Jeff Markin, the American International Podcast, where we discuss a different American International Pictures movie every week. We've been doing it for about 2.5 years. I'm also a producer. Michael, you were a guest on the Pop Culture Junkie podcast.
Yes.
I don't host that one. I'm not in it, but I'm a producer along with Jeff. And that's also, we have a weekly episode there too. And that's been going since 2020. And I work in media. I'm currently working for a radio station group here in Phoenix, Arizona, but I worked in television in Toledo for 30 years. And then I came out here, did some more TV, and then transitioned over to radio. It's much better. And I write for the Pop Culture Junkie podcast, or the Pop Culture Junkie. I write for popculturejunkie.com.
Okay, and Brady?
I am Brady Kesling. I'm a podcaster as well, I guess. Not for nearly as long as you guys, though. Ours is pretty new. We've only got like 5 or 6 episodes. It's the Holy Toledo Podcast with my partner, Tom Stamos, that we do. And we talk about things in Toledo. We talk about, actually, quite a variety of things. Getting ready to do an episode, for example, about the film that they shot here in Toledo, which will be fun because we were both involved behind the scenes. I did work at a TV station when I was a kid, when I was like 18 years old, but I've been out of media for quite a while, other than as a filmmaker. So I consider myself an independent filmmaker and a writer. That's kind of my quick byline for you, Michael.
Thanks. Yeah. Brady and I were both in the movie Eeny Meeny behind the scenes.
Oh, I love that
Brady
movie.
Briefly. You can see the side of his head.
Yeah, my ear is in there for a second, I swear.
I like that movie a lot. I watched that.
It turned out really well. I was impressed. Like, not only, it's one thing to be in a movie, because there's lots of independent films that aren't that great, but it's another one to actually be in a movie that was, a big production, a Hollywood production. It's on
Big
internationally
stars.
and big stars, and it's actually watchable. It's actually fun. It's a trip.
Samara Weaving is so good in everything.
She really is. She is. Yes.
And she's so beautiful in person too. I was right by her. Like one time when she was in the car, I was in a slot machine and she was literally like 2 feet from me. So it was kind of cool.
Oh, she is.
Yeah.
She's very pretty. Yeah, she is. Absolutely.
Yeah, we were sitting there and waiting on things to go, and she's just sitting there in the car waiting, and she looks over at me a couple times and smiles and stuff, and that's about the only interaction we had, but it was cool. So, yeah.
You will remember it until the day he dies.
Yes, I will.
Yeah, I feel you, man. Yeah.
That in the short conversation I had with Marshawn Lynch, but
Yeah.
Oh, he's
There
great
you
too.
go. Yeah.
yeah. But yeah, anyways, check that out. Eeny Meeny, that's on Hulu currently. Today we're talking about something else that was shot in Toledo, and we're talking about another project that involved Film Toledo, the local Toledo Film Commission, with helping out with like props and other things, and kind of the flair of Toledo to be added to the show. And that's the Office spinoff called The Paper, which is currently on Peacock. 10-episode first season. They premiered on September 4th. It was created by Greg Daniels, who was one of the co-creators of The Office, and Michael Coman, who was like a writer for Late Night with Conan O'Brien, among other things. So, and it takes place in Toledo, Ohio, like I said. And all of us have connections to Toledo. I live in Findlay now, but I lived in Toledo most of my life. And Brady lives in Toledo, and Cheryl lived in Toledo as well. So originally, but now she's in Arizona. So yeah.
I don't like winter.
No,
I don't blame you.
Don't blame you. Yeah. So, so we're going to kind of just go off of what is your initial reaction to the show, and feelings on it? Either one of you can start.
I wanted to love this show. I really did. I was really rooting for them. And I was so excited to see Toledo represented, but it didn't fulfill the hopes and dreams I had for it.
Oh, no. Well, that's a shame. How do you think it let down?
Well, mostly because I used to work for a newspaper. It was my very first adult job. I was an intern at the same newspaper that my dad worked at for his entire career. And that was in South Bend, Indiana, which isn't a huge town. It's not Cleveland. It's not Cincinnati, but it's not a dinky little town. It's smaller than Toledo, but comparable. And they take writing a newspaper, they take it so seriously. And just to see how mocking the tone was towards the newspaper business and towards the paper itself. When you watch the opening to the show, they use the paper as disposable garbage. And that just sets a tone
of the subtext of the whole thing, isn't it?
I just didn't appreciate that.
From the beginning.
I mean,
I kind of trash.
I took it in a different way, and I've actually read some interviews with Greg Daniels about this, and their commentary that they are trying to make is the fact that the industry is kind of dying, and that people don't respect it as much as they should. And they were trying to point out the fact that journalism isn't taken as seriously as it should be.
Yeah.
I
think they're on the threshold of a great idea because, the industry is in big trouble. I mean, my dad got out in 2008 and he was so happy he did. That's when he retired. But that could have been the germ for a really great sitcom about fighting against that. Instead, they just don't know what they're doing there. And I thought that was disrespectful.
They did touch on it a little bit, I think, with their where they were fighting against their corporate owners, which is a lot of the problems that we have, where you've got a society right now where people can't even trust the New York Times or the Washington Post because, what I'm saying is that because they cave into even national news on TV, like CBS and other things that are caving into the administration and other things where it's and then even and I'm sure there's people on the other side of the aisle politically than I am that feel the same way about the news as well. So
well, they kind of make people feel that way.
I feel like we basically have two different parallel universes going on. I've been I'm a hospice nurse by trade, and I've been in houses with different political leanings than mine. And what's happening on their television is not what's happening on my television. These are two completely different universes. We've split off into a multiverse or something.
Addressing that in the show would have been really interesting. And maybe them competing against another newspaper in Toledo or the network news, the local news on TV. They could have
I did find it.
Could do. Yeah.
I did find it kind of implausible that a big building like that used to be like a huge newspaper would. I mean, I know newspapers are cutting down on their staff and everything, but that they would basically cut down to that one thing. But I mean, we do have. It is kind of funny that like in the show itself, they talk about a local weather person on WNWO when WNWO doesn't even broadcast out of Toledo anymore.
No, and they called it Channel 5. WNWO.
Oh no, that was later. I think that they called it Channel 5 because I think that was a different station because that didn't have the NBC logo attached to it.
But they had WNWO up on the background screen when they were when Nicole was on that talk show. I worked for Channel 5. Channel 5 was a thing, and that's where I worked. And it was a CW affiliate before that, WB, before that Independent. So
and
I was offended.
It's currently attached to 13 now too. So because they changed it from 5 to 13. I knew people that worked there too. So I did some stuff with them, not directly, but helped out people with some video work at
that was like my whole
5
life
and stuff.
20 some years, and I
did some stuff. I did some stuff at 24, and I've done stuff with 13 and 11 as well. So if they take the time to learn the call letters of their NBC affiliate, they should learn the number too, the channel number.
It might be required by law to not identify them.
That's the thing. It's like
have to change some stuff. I don't know.
Yeah, but they could have changed.
Yeah, because sometimes they do make them do that, and I mean. I don't know. I didn't notice the WNWO on the TV screen when Nicole was at the station, so I didn't know. But
behind her,
I was too busy paying attention to her. I think just because I think she's adorable.
I'm noticing a theme here with where Michael's attention is.
I'm just saying. No, but on her. I've liked her as an actress for a long time, Ramona Young. She had a recurring role and I think a partially main role on DC's Legends of Tomorrow for a bit too. So I liked her from that. So that's why. Yeah. But
she looks familiar to me, but I can't place her. I don't think I've seen that show, but she looks very familiar.
Watched it when it ran on TV5. I watched it. She's probably my favorite out of the cast besides Domhnall Gleeson. Domhnall, whatever his name is, Gleeson. Domhnall Gleeson.
Domhnall sounds like an Irishman, sir.
Yeah. So what was your take here, Brady, on like did you like, was there anything you didn't like, or is there anything that we get out of the way first?
Actually, I enjoyed it, and my wife, who likes nothing and has like zero sense of humor, that's her own words, or I wouldn't dare say it in public, actually got a kick out of it and has watched. I think she has not seen the last 3 episodes because I had to kind of cram those in today. But we went to the premiere in Toledo at the or the party, the kind of whatever they call it at Imagination Station on the big IMAX screen, and watched the first 2 episodes with the crowd, which was a lot of fun. They were all rabid Office fans and kicked my butt. I do not have the trivia gene or I guess I'm not that into The Office, but I really thought I enjoyed all the references. I get that Toledo's kind of the butt of the joke, and that's, it is what it is, right? I mean, that work in a way we're it's kind of making fun of Toledo to an extent, I feel like. But I mean, I expected that after, watching The Office. I kind of expected that. Esmeralda drives me nuts as a character.
Yeah.
I have a really hard time watching her, but other than that, I actually kind of really enjoyed it. I think that the chemistry between Ned and Mare is really well done and well acted, and like it's there from that first lunch that they have when he buys her a salad. I mean, there's something there, and you want it to pay off, kind of like on The Office, but we can talk about how that go. I don't know if we're doing any spoilers or not, but I mean, I feel like we may have made a misstep in the final episode, because I don't know. I don't know that you want to resolve that, because I think that's part of what keeps you watching and part of what keeps it interesting. That
They did that
tension,
on-
that kind of like
They did that on Moonlighting and ruined it.
exactly.
See, I have a feeling. I have a feeling that they did that because they didn't know if they were going to get a second season at that point.
Yeah,
Sure.
could be.
And
Which they
I
already
also
have,
think,
by the way,
yeah, they do now.
Now they
I
do,
hope
yeah.
that there's a lot that they correct and course correct in the second season. I do think it was like the problem with modern television is the whole like we're going to have like 8 or 10 episodes for a season, and they don't give it time to breathe, and that's what the problem with this is compared to The Office, where they gave you that slow rise of like Jim and Pam and will they won't they, or like back in the day with like Sam and Diane, or like you said with Moonlighting. It's when you get 24 episodes in a season, you can build things more. And I hate this whole network, this whole streaming style of 10 episodes. If you're doing a drama, I think it works for 10 episodes more than with a sitcom, because with a traditional sitcom, because you've got this whole, there are some sitcoms like Hacks and other things that work with, like the Righteous Gemstones and stuff like that work with shorter seasons. But this isn't that type of show. This is your typical network television sitcom, and you need to build your storylines, and they were rushing through it too much. That was my main issue with the show. And I think it would have benefited a lot from a 24 episode season or something. And also when you're binging everything all at once, when they released everything on the same day, I think that kind of killed a little bit of the tension too, and stuff
like that. And actually, to go on with what you said there, Michael, I felt it kind of did feel like all the writers were in a room and they pitched out all the best ideas they could come up with, and they weren't sure if they were going to get another chance to tell those stories. So they're kind of all over the place, you know what I mean? And they don't really seem like one episode leads into the next, or that there's any kind of like 1 minute, 1 minute they're completely failing, and the next thing they're winning an awards. You had
the awards that really bothered me. Only 10 episodes, and they went from just pulling stuff off the wire to winning, to sweeping their categories at the Ohio Journalism Awards. No way.
And there was one episode where they had like a half decent article, right? I mean, like of all of them.
They didn't do the work on that one. They didn't lay the groundwork for that to be believable.
And it's kind of hard to tell how long of a period of time things are taking place too.
Yeah,
when you're watching them in this. Yeah. It's like, you don't know if this is like, they, yes. And we do have somebody joining us here. Our co-host Sesame is joining us here, folks. A little late, but we're good.
Yeah, totally got sidetracked. My fault. Totally.
That's okay. We're just kind of going over what we liked and didn't like about the series, the first season here. Were you able to watch the whole thing, Sesame?
No, just the first 2 episodes.
Yes. So hopefully we don't spoil anything for you here, but we might talk about some things that happen. Yeah. Go ahead, Cheryl.
I saw one of the characters wearing a Santa Claus suit. I don't know if you remember that they were handing out the toilet paper that tasted like peppermint or whatever. Yeah. And I thought, are they trying to say this is winter in Toledo? Because everyone's wearing like normal street clothes, no coats or anything. What are they going to do?
I don't know.
If they go to season 2, are they going to make it all happen in the summer, spring and summer?
See, I don't know if that was supposed to be December or what, because
I don't think it was. It wasn't.
Yeah, I think it was just the person wearing the suit was
right. I was just scared that
they were just trying to show Ken as being completely off, probably.
See,
because he's giving you the gift of toilet paper on a cone. Congratulations.
See, that's my main thing with Ken and what's her name?
Esmeralda.
I don't think you need both of them.
I don't think you need Esmeralda. I thought she was the most annoying sitcom character I have ever seen. And that's sad.
I began to like her as it went on, but like I said, if they would have given her, but she's way too over the top for this show. And I know that in The Office, for example, you did have like Dwight Schrute, who was kind of over the top, but in his own subtle, but but the thing is, the thing with the way Rainn Wilson played that character, it still was kind of believable that he would actually exist in the world.
And he was sympathetic at times too.
Yeah.
Obviously, had more time to look at his character than we've had with Esmeralda.
Yeah, and maybe in the second season they'll tone her down a little, or
I hope so.
or she leaves or something. I don't know. I mean, she's not a bad actress, and the character works, but it's more like her character seems more like something from a like 3 camera setup sitcom, like from the 90s or something, not like
she's like the Fran Drescher of this show.
And not somebody gets like a third of the screen time.
Yeah, I agree. I think Ken is a better villain of.
Yeah, he's a better foil.
Yeah.
If you're going to have somebody who's the bad guy, I think Ken's probably. I wouldn't be intimidated by Esmeralda at all. I don't think.
Yeah, and I mean, she did have some good lines. I do like in the pilot where she says, "Don't be so self-defecating."
Yes,
that
was definitely quotable. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, but Tim Key is really good as Ken.
Yes.
And he's only like a year. He's only like a year older than me, which kind of really it's just weird to me to think because he seems older. So
I loved Alan Havey as the big boss. He's on this talk show on Comedy Central when it first came out, and he's really funny, and he's really good in this.
I've been a fan of his for years. He's a great stand-up comic too, so it's good. And he did play a role on The Office, which is interesting that they have him play in a different character here because I forgot, he was in 2 episodes as the father of a girl that Dwight was supposed to get married to.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, like a farmer. I
want more of him and less of Esmeralda for season 2.
Me too. And his character was really good. I mean, he's very sympathetic. He's very well written. It was a good character. Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like the smaller roles were actually better than some of the. I mean, the 2 main leads as far as Mayor and Ned, I think were pretty awesome. But like the Nicole and Dietrich and Adam and Travis, those guys are all kind of like I kind of wanted to know more about them, like the weird little kind of maybe not so neurotypical part of the office. Yeah. Like what are they doing? What's what's going on with them?
Alex Edelman is pretty funny. He's a good stand-up as well, and his character is just quirky and in another way that's believable as well, as opposed to like Esmeralda, that's quirky and in an over the top annoying way. But yeah, he's
is he the one that's sorry, go ahead. Is he the one that's supposed to be the quote unquote poor religious person?
He's the one that he's got like a bunch of kids and I don't know if
well, there's this line in episode 2 because that's as far as I got in the show, but where they're going to the park looking for a story, and then the guy's like, "Well, we could take you back to the station, right?" It's like, dude, you're not a cop.
Oh yeah,
what are you talking
about?
Oh yeah, yeah. That was pretty funny when they were when the dogging thing was going on.
Yeah. Oh yeah,
the dogging.
To me, that shows how they fundamentally don't understand how news gathering works. And
but these people aren't supposed to. So in fairness,
there's nobody there who. I mean, they do put out a paper still, and people buy it. So nobody.
It doesn't seem. It doesn't. It's that part's not believable at all. But
there's all over the walls. There are newspaper front pages from the glory days of the paper, and that's they don't know how to read those.
I don't know. I mean, I think that's kind of what they were going for, though, is the fact that this is kind of what they should have. What they should have done with the show in a way, if they're going to do the paper thing. I know they had to try to kind of connect it to Dunder Mifflin, where Dunder Mifflin got bought out, and then you have this other company and stuff. But I think it would have been better to have it be like a startup, smaller newspaper, like the City Paper or the Free Press that we have in Toledo, as opposed to a
Blade substitute.
Yeah, and because I mean, the Blade has its issues. I mean, don't get me started on the Block family.
Oh my God. I wondered if the stacks were supposed to be like the blocks of
Block. I mean, I think so. It was like John Stock and then John Block. So it's like,
but they were nothing like I've met both Alan and John Robinson Block, and they were nothing like that. They are nowhere as weird as they are.
Yeah. So
I had a question. Oh, go ahead, sir.
Yeah, go ahead.
Sorry, I don't really know like how the journalism game works, but like, was I incorrect in assuming that in the first episode that like they were just like using articles from other newspapers and just like sharing?
No,
Like, is that even like
Wire
a legal thing?
service. Yeah, it's legal.
Like,
You
you can just-
subscribe to AP Wire and
It's
you get
the-
old articles
yeah.
from your paper.
Because you'll see in regular newspapers, an article that's the AP Wire that you're going to have the same article like in like the Blade and also in the Washington Post or something like that. Yeah. So yeah, sometimes
Typically,
yeah.
like national or international stories, and then like you would do your own local reporting for a paper like the Blade.
Okay.
You'd think.
That would be how it would normally. That would be how it would normally go, at least, because
Yeah, but it seems
if you
like
want to
this-
read a national paper, you're not going to read the Blade or the
Right,
the show, the Toledo Truth-Teller.
Yeah, it seems like this paper had just become like a newspaper that was just completely The Wire,
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, it's
Who would buy
not
that?
the TV show The Wire, but
That would have been better, probably. I would have been more interested. I mean, I like the show, though. I'm not ripping off. I mean, I think, it's not a very realistic portrayal of the news industry at all. And there's a lot that they definitely didn't earn throughout 10 episodes, that paid off, even though it shouldn't have. And I don't know. We'll see what happens with the romantic tension thing as they started. I feel like it was a misstep to start to resolve that, because I feel like it's better if they've never even talked about it. Because I feel like you're probably right. They're probably going to go back to, well, we're going to fight this, but they're going to be fighting it more actively. But I mean, the fact that they've talked about it releases so much of that tension in my mind.
Yeah, and it's going to be interesting to see if they put an obstacle between them in the next season.
HR.
Or HR.
Right, exactly.
I mean, that's probably what they'll go for or something.
Yeah.
But yeah, and it's interesting. And the what were you guys' thoughts on Oscar being involved from The Office?
Didn't give him enough to do.
No, but yeah, I didn't expect them to.
It's true. I did love his one, and I assume it was improvised, but the rant when he tries to get them to not record him, and he's saying all of the worst words he can think of, but they're not that bad.
Yeah.
And they're still bleeping him out. He's seeing boobies and stuff, and they're bleeping it. I mean, that was pretty funny. I enjoyed that part. But yeah, he didn't really get a lot until the end of the season.
Yeah. And I mean, I love Oscar Nunez as an actor. He's hilarious. But the thing is like on the original show, Oscar didn't. I mean, he got his own episodes here and there, but he was not like the focus. And I think that it was right to not make him like. It's not like Frasier, where the main star is one of the supporting characters from the show,
I'm glad they were able to bring somebody over to kind of have a little bit of continuity, or to make it an actual, what felt like more like a real spinoff, because otherwise it's just a spinoff in name, right? I mean, if you just say, okay, well, these guys they work for another subsidiary, so it's a spinoff. That's not really a spinoff, I don't think so. Not in my mind. That's not how spinoffs used to work, but I'm an 80s guy, so what do I know?
Yeah, and this isn't, I mean, it still isn't. I mean, it's like, that's a good question too. Like, would it have worked if it wasn't a spin? I mean, I think that a lot of the criticism that is coming into the show too are people that were huge fans of The Office, expecting The Office again. But they have to remember that the first season of The Office was almost horrible. There were
when you compare it to the British version. I mean, if you're talking about, are you talking about the American one?
Yeah, the American Office. The first season, those first 6 episodes that they had the first season of The Office American Office were really, they hadn't found their footing. And that's why I'm hoping this show does find its footing. The same thing with Parks and Rec and other shows of that nature. I mean, even other shows that lasted, that kind of, there's very few shows that have like a perfect, pilot. And I do think that this season was better than the first season of The Office. I will give them that, I think. So yeah, that's my feeling.
Hopefully they learned from the experience of the other one. I mean, part of it is just gelling as a cast, I would think. Because I mean, I assume based on The Office that there's at least some degree of making this stuff up. That it's not, they have the scene and they have the words, but there's also a lot of improv going on. I mean, that's like one of the hallmarks of the way The Office was produced, I think. But you had Steve Carell and, some other like big name, it's really, really talented people. And these are kind of all sort of unknowns, at least as far as comedy goes.
In the, I mean, when The Office came out, most of those people were unknown too. So it's, I mean, Steve Carell was known from The Daily Show and stuff like that. And I mean, Rainn Wilson was kind of known, but not really. But almost everybody else was kind of an unknown.
Yeah, Rainn Wilson is still only kind of known, I think. Yeah, I mean, if you mentioned Rainn Wilson's name, they don't have any idea who you're talking about. I know who he is. I follow him, and I find him entertaining, but not everybody knows.
Too. I'm the same religion as him, so I've talked to him before. So I do.
Oh,
but I'm Baha'i, and so is he. So it's but that was only years ago, like on MySpace, that I talked to him. So
MySpace, you're dating yourself. So was he in your top 5? Oh, I just dated myself.
Or top 8.
Yeah.
It was top 8. Yeah, no, he wasn't.
I think you could make it however many. It depended on your theme, if I remember correctly. How many tops you had?
Yeah.
Did you think it was funny?
Fights.
Oh, sorry. Did you guys think it was funny? Or did you laugh?
I did laugh at a fair amount of it, yeah. And it probably was helped by the fact that I was in a crowd of people when I saw the first 2 episodes. But I actually got some pretty good laughs. And some of them, every once in a while, there's a little kind of chortle about the fact that the way they mentioned Toledo, but there actually, I thought there were some, it wasn't like a laugh a minute, but maybe not as much as you should, but it was still pretty funny. They still got that cool Office thing where they get the reaction. I like the format of that kind of like looking at the camera when it gets awkward and that sort of thing. Although the little subplot where they go down, where Esmeralda and Ken go down to the basement and they're making their plan. I'm like, I leaned to my wife and I said, there's no way they're going to forget that they have cameras following them around and have this conversation. No matter how much stuff they put the camera behind, there's no way these 2 characters who are controlling as can be have forgotten that there are cameras following them around.
Especially Esmeralda.
Especially right. But I feel like Ken is super conniving and like he's got his plans in place.
And Esmeralda was supposed to have been on a reality show before this. Right. So the character, like some dating show or something. So, but she is a complete idiot though. So I don't know. So it's hard to say. I mean, the way that was portrayed. She got catfished and so
I thought that was really funny, and the whole Cameo, the way that they did it on Cameo, and the way she treated it by But then again, I've actually gone to Cameo, and I did that to my co-host. I got him one with the guy from To Catch a Predator.
Oh wow,
Chris Hansen.
I got him a Chris Hansen video, and
did he say sit down?
He did. Yeah, I had him. Sit down. We got to talk about your chats here, your screen name, and all that stuff. So it was definitely
that's great.
It was a good prank. It was fun to do.
I thought for some reason I had the idea that you like set up like one of the Predators to be the cameo.
Oh my god! There you go.
That'd be funny if you did know somebody who was a Predator and you just get Chris Hansen to do a cameo to tell him.
Oh my gosh, that's a great idea.
Sometimes, tell the police too, though.
Maybe tell the police sometime in there.
I mean, Chris Hansen has his own issues too when it comes to not necessarily being truthful about things and legit. But
right.
But I mean, I thought the show was funny. There was a little bit of awkwardness on it. I think that the writing is good, but I think it'll get better on the next season. And the Toledo references were kind of interesting, but there were some like things like where they'd mentioned an East Toledo Target. There's no Target in East Toledo.
No, and I think
there's a lot.
I think they learned a lot about Toledo by going to Google Maps, and
they did come to Toledo and talk to the film commission and stuff and tried to get things. I
believe they toured the Blade and the City Paper actually while they were here.
Wow.
Yeah, they did. They went and visited them. Yeah,
it was mostly the writers. They might have been a couple small actors. I'm not sure who they were. Well, I didn't recognize the names back then. Oh, did he? Okay, I did not know that.
He came and hung out at the City. I know that cool. From people I know that work there. And
that's probably just because he's a good actor. I would imagine that he was like, I need to go and see what this is like what it would actually be like. And that's you got to respect that at least. To do research for your sitcom role is pretty.
He went to some other papers in Ohio too, in different cities as well. I know that. And I mean, it was kind of cool seeing some of the references here. Like they had, so I live in Findlay now, which is near Bluffton. And they had the popcorn tin that that he has
beating from the whole first episode.
It's Shirley's Popcorn, which is next to the Shannon Theater in Bluffton, which I've been to several times.
It's kind of cool. Those popcorn tins, three-ways were they were everywhere.
Yeah.
Everybody had those.
Mhm.
They were,
Yeah.
they're always really old.
Stale.
And then they have like Mud Hens references, and I want to see like Tony Pacos mentioned next season, or
More
you
things
know,
you can
different
get from
things.
the
Like,
airport
I can't believe they
gift shop.
didn't. You're right. They didn't mention Tony Pacos once, did they? The entire 10
No.
episodes. That kind of is
I'd like to
disappointing.
see that. So, like, did any of you watch AP Bio when that was on?
I watched a little bit of it.
I
think it
just
looked like
recently
it.
learned that it was set in Toledo. That's
I
how
watched a lot.
behind the
Yeah.
times I am.
It's a great show. I like it a lot. But they had some better references to Toledo on that than
No.
this show did.
There's another
Because I mean
show.
they had Mancy's mentioned in it. They had
Oh, wow.
Wesley's Bar. They had different things like that. Yeah. So
There's another
it's,
show set in Toledo called Melissa and Joey with
and
Melissa
that's horrible.
Hart. Yeah, I know, but they're
The
references to
show is
Toledo.
decent, but
They shot some interstitial scenes that they would just put up between their
Yeah.
regular scenes, and that would be Toledo. But it never looked like there's no weather.
Yeah.
They gotta have weather.
We don't.
and they
We don't have a
had
macaroni hut or whatever the name of that restaurant.
Oh, Macaroni
What was it?
Barn. It's like the
Macaroni
Spaghetti
Barn.
Warehouse.
Is that a real thing?
Yeah.
Or is that
Yeah.
a parody of the Spaghetti Warehouse? Because I've never seen them have karaoke there. But
Yeah, or dancing.
No. But the Melissa and Joey was kind of like it was like Toledo in name only, and they even admitted that on that show that they just chose Toledo at random for that one. So
I think my favorite part of this show is seeing the Toledo Loves Love mural. Because I used to,
Yes.
I lived in the Old West End for 25
that's
years.
where I
and-
live. Crazy.
Oh,
okay.
cool. I lived on Robinwood.
I am on Robinwood right now. I'm in the attic on a 2300 block of Robinwood right now.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
And I mean, I love that neighborhood. It was the best, just the best. And
It is.
so just seeing that thing
it's
that I
a
drove by
for
every
anybody
day.
who doesn't know, it's a very artistic kind of
Old.
open community. Old, how
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
the largest grouping of authentic
Victorians.
Victorian houses still standing in the world, I think.
Mhm.
Some in varying degrees of fixed and not, but such a cool bunch of people around here. And
Yeah.
yeah, that Adams Street mural that says Toledo Loves Love is right up the street across from or just past Manhattan
uptown.
from here, which is a
and Brady has a
Great
very
restaurant.
beautiful house, in
Well, thank
the Old West End. Yeah, I was there a couple weeks ago. So yeah, so yeah.
we hosted a small eeny meeny screening for some of the extras and stuff because I
nice.
thought it'd be so much cooler to sit down with a bunch of people and say, "There you are, there I am," than to just do it by myself.
Yeah,
Definitely.
yeah. When you start
Especially since it
saying,
turned out to only be my ear.
yeah, when I was sitting by myself, being like, there I am, and there's nobody next to me, and it's really just sad. No.
Yeah. Sounds like a scene from the next episode of The Paper.
Yeah. There I am.
You could
Did
be
you see me?
Travis.
Yeah, I did.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh boy, yeah. But like what was your okay, I know that, we're talking about negatives here, but what was your and some of the things, what was your who's your favorite character on the show?
Mare.
Anybody? Yeah. Mare.
I love her. She reminds
I
me of
think
my youngest sister.
Yeah.
She's fun. She's got a lot of character. They give her a lot of
Mhm.
backstory. And she's just the most interesting one. I mean, I want to know more about Ned. Wow, how'd you go from being a paper salesperson to being editor in chief? Like, how do you? That's not a lateral move, but
No.
but
I
but
think
Mare,
they talk
give
about it
her
a
all
little
that.
bit, but yeah.
Yeah.
I think Mare, I'd have to go with the Mare as well. If I had to pick one. I kind of really liked some of the stuff. Is it Dietrich or Detrick?
Detrick.
Detrick. Yeah.
Okay. Detrick, I kind of liked. I liked the weird thing with him and Nicole because who hasn't met a guy like that who's just too much. I mean,
Yeah.
he's but he's sincere. I mean, it's not like he's trying to hook up. He's sincerely, has his infatuation. I'm not saying it's love, but he has his infatuation with Nicole, and
He held her hair
but she,
when she was sick.
exactly right.
Then he threw
Yeah,
up on her too, but
We've all met that guy or been that guy.
Right. No, I think we've all kind of been that
Dated
guy
him.
too, frankly. No, I've been in that situation. And I mean, it's not healthy. It's not good.
No.
But hopefully we've grown out of being that guy. But I like that it was represented, because he seems like he's cool and he has it all together. But then here he is kind of falling into that trap of over prioritizing this dating
Wedding
that's happening.
romance.
So,
Yeah.
yeah.
Mhm. What about you, Sesame? In the couple episodes you saw,
I don't know the character. I like the one that's like friends with Ned, basically the woman.
Mare.
I don't really know.
Yeah.
So basically, all of us like Mare.
Yeah, I like Mare. Mare's my favorite character too. I think. Yeah. So yeah.
I kind of feel like the show is pretty much just to make you fall for Mare.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, I think like they kind of show Ned as the main character, but I feel like it's all about making Mare be likable and be like, I don't know.
She's the most realistic character.
She's realistic. Yeah. She's got depth. She's got, she's well portrayed.
She's got talent. She
exactly.
deserves to be there.
Exactly. Right. She's like the only one who probably ought to be there. Like, even Ned kind of isn't qualified for his job,
No.
But
and see, I mean, I think
this is
go ahead.
I'm sorry. I was to say this is interesting because, like, you talk about parallels to The Office and stuff. She kind of reminds me a little bit of like Jim Halpert, whereas Esmeralda kind of reminds me of Dwight Schrute, but she's always trying to sabotage Ned, and Ned's almost seems like he's kind of like a Jim / somewhat like it, almost like a hybrid between Michael Scott and Jim. But then you got Mare is kind of like doing like the side eyes, type of thing that Jim would do. But like it's its own thing, though. Obviously, it's not like just a complete replica of the old cast or whatever.
Yeah.
I mean,
I think about The Office. Sorry, Mike, but the thing about The Office is that most of the characters are like the main characters are like boobs. I mean, like they're not. Like the main people that are in charge are morons, kind of. Do you know what I mean? They're the Homer Simpson of the gang. Michael is. They're not competent, but they're confident that they are competent.
Well, as not a boss, that's pretty relatable. That the people above you are
absolutely.
Oh yeah,
yeah,
definitely.
But I feel like they've gotten away from that because Ned and Mare are like very much the main characters in this, and they are both the most competent people on the show.
Well, you do have like Ken and Esmeralda being like idiots. So it's kind of I mean, I really like the Ken character. I think I do think they need to get rid of or tone down Esmeralda a lot.
Why is she so much? The stakes aren't that high.
Yeah.
Why is she so extra about everything?
Right.
Yeah.
And I mean, it's a choice. It's a way to go, but I find her grating. I do. I just find her like.
I'd also like to find out how she ended up in Toledo.
Yeah. Of all the accents I expected to hear, Italian was not one of them.
Yeah.
For sure. Yeah. At least it was Italian and not like the typical, I mean, she could have easily been Spanish or Mexican. And, they had that accent, the Hispanic with the
Lebanese
Spanish accent.
Right. And Sabrina Impacciatore is Italian, so it's like so at least she's not like faking an Italian accent. So
is she really hamming it up? I'm not super familiar with her other work. I have not watched the White Lotus.
I know she was on White Lotus, and I've never watched White Lotus either. So Okay. It just doesn't look good to me, but that's just me. I know everybody loves White Lotus. It just doesn't look interesting to me.
It's popular, but I just said it stayed off my radar, and I don't even know what it's about. I think it's kind of like adult-y, but other than that, I don't know.
There's a lot of those shows that everybody's like, oh, you got to watch the show. You got to watch the show. And it's like, I still have never seen Game of Thrones much. So it's like, there's different things that it's like.
I tend to resist that when it's happening. Like, I didn't watch the Harry Potter movies because they were too popular at the time. And then finally I got around to them later. I'm like, I'm not jumping on that bandwagon, darn it. Sticking to my guns. Then eventually I'll get around to it because it's part of popular culture. You got to know what, you got to know what a muggle is, or you're not going to understand half the people in this world. Yeah, exactly. How do you know?
When those movies came out, when the movies started coming out, like the Harry Potter movies, I refused to see them because there was this like smaller art house film that was playing like almost every other city of the size of Toledo, but not in Toledo. And then Harry Potter was on like 20 screens, and I'm just like, can I just have one of those screens so I can see this fucking movie?
My son was the age to love Harry Potter. He dressed as him as for Halloween for 2 years running. So I just went with my kids. We read the books together. It was a mom thing. So I wouldn't have otherwise.
Yeah,
but I did watch Game.
And that's another thing that's sadly been ruined by the author, unfortunately. But
He doesn't like him anymore.
No kidding. Jeez.
Yeah.
We'll just leave that right there, right?
Yeah, I'm not gonna support a transphobe. But anyway, so yeah. But yeah.
Yep. As far as we know, none of the creators of this show are transphobic. So, there's that.
Fingers crossed. There was one. There was one moment that I thought was really realistic. When I was in college, I interned I went to Purdue. I interned for a station down there, and I was talking to the news director, and my job was to call local sheriffs and cops just to find out if anything happened. And I reported to her there was this accident that some kids had died. And she's like, "Oh, great." And I was like, "What?" And that happened in this show too. Like, the worse the news is, the better it is for them. Right. And it just it was jarring at first, but I got used to it. But yeah, that was realistic to me.
Serial killer trying to report the hidden body at the morgue.
With Scranton Strangler.
I did like the part where they played back his frantic call to the morgue is the source for the serial killer thing.
Yep.
I did think it got funnier towards the end. Like they'd finally got their rhythm right, and it was. Yeah. I got more. It's gotta
be hard with a cast that big, because that's a lot of people. I mean, there's 12, main cast members, I think, or something like that. I mean, 10 at least. That has to be That has to be a lot to get that chemistry, to build that chemistry, and to be able to play off of each other, and to even recognize what your coworker, your other, this other person playing a role, what they're going for. Do you know what I mean? It has to take a little while. So
I was struggling to
surprise me.
I was struggling to figure out what all their real jobs were when they weren't dabbling in journalism,
right?
Because they would sort of switch between the two because they couldn't afford full-time journalists.
I mean, I know that Adam was an accountant. Adam is an accountant. I actually got it listed here.
Oh, okay. So I forgot. They introduced him.
Ned is the new editor in chief. Esmeralda is the managing editor of TTT Online. Mayor is the paper's compositor. Detrick, it doesn't say what he does.
I think it was sales. Yeah. Wasn't he a salesman?
Yeah,
I think he was.
He was selling ads.
Yeah, because they were talking about the what was the Chinese something or other that was very kind of racist sounding, but they use
Chinese wall.
Yeah, between the two or something. Yeah,
one.
Right.
Yeah.
And then Adaloa, whatever her name is, I don't know how to pronounce that either now. Is an accountant. Right. Adam is an accountant. Nicole is kind of Nicole's kind of I don't know, an assistant or something.
Classified.
Yeah.
She did classified ads.
Yeah. Classified. She says, it doesn't say that here on Wikipedia. And then Oscar, of course, is the head accountant. So
the unimpeachable source that is Wikipedia.
Yeah. Yes.
But yeah, that's a lot of accountants and sales.
That's where I get all my news. Yeah. So yeah, it's basically, and then there was one person actually working for the newspaper. Really.
It's I worked for the high school paper, and we had 24 people working for that, and we published once a week. How did they get a daily paper out? I
wrote for the Collegian at UT. So and that was
yearbook in college.
We had tons of people working there. I guess working, we didn't get paid, but
right.
Yeah. Right. I was the DVD reviewer, so yeah, but yeah. So I'm going to ask this is going to be the final question, I think, here before we wrap things up. What do you hope happens in season 2? We can start with you, Brady. Yeah.
First of all, I hope that they back away fast from the whole resolving that attraction between the two main characters, because I feel like it was a mistake to have what happened in the last. I don't want to do spoilers, but I feel like that was a mistake. And I know that they were trying to kind of maybe play the middle so that they could back away from it, or they could go into it depending on what, or you could imagine whatever if they only had one season. But I really feel like they need to run away from that. That needs to have, they need to wake up from a dream and that never happened, or something. There needs to be more stuff put in there in between them to make that tension not talked about the way that it's been talked about, because I feel like that resolved too much of it. I'd like to see Esmeralda toned down and maybe a little less screen time. I really enjoyed most of the other characters quite a lot, but even Ken, who was like annoying because he's a bad guy, but like he's at least entertaining to watch. I found her kind of annoying, but if the tension between Ned and Mare for the whole season was amazing, and I liked that, and I feel like they're really getting close to ruining that. So that's the big thing that I hope that they can step back from and course correct.
And you, Cheryl?
I think I'd like to see more journalism. Like, this is something that I recognize as what it's like to work in a real newspaper. And, they would all get together and work on the same story together. There's tiny little staff. They'd all do product research, or they'd all do the wipes or what.
Yeah.
And that I want to see like different people. I want to see them actually writing and not just researching. I want to see a little, they shorthanded it all the way through and somehow managed to win journalism awards, but I want to see how that came to be. I want to see more of that. And like you, less of Esmeralda. She can disappear, or she can have like a personality overhaul, but
if it was Game of Thrones, they just kill her off.
Yeah, she can go work for something else, somewhere else, like Cleveland Plain Dealer or something.
There you go.
And then I just would like to see more Toledo, like real Toledo.
Yeah.
Maybe they could come out there and shoot at the Valentine, or I don't know, any landmark that's recognizable to us.
I'd like to see them. I'd like to see them come and film at like a Mud Hen game or something. That would be.
They mentioned them enough.
Like on AP Bio, they came to a walleye game and and filmed. So that'd be cool to see. Yeah.
Yeah.
What about you, Sesame? I know you only saw 2 episodes, but
Yeah, I mean, I don't really have enough to. I mean, I would like to see him go to Rudy's Hot Dog because
Tony Pacos.
Toledo.
yeah.
So
we were saying Tony Pacos earlier. So yeah, I think one of those 2 would be cool. Yeah. Or some other like landmarks. Go to the art museum or do something. I mean, they did that on AP Bio. They went to the art museum. They went to the Maumee Indoor Theater. They went to the walleye game, different things like that for an episode. We'd just come to Toledo and film some things.
Go to Old West End Festival.
Yeah. Come to something so Brady and I can be extras.
My ear's gonna get an agent if I keep this stuff up, man. I'm gonna be very famous. This one ear right here, that's the one.
Oh, I've seen that.
Yeah.
It's the most famous ear in Eeny Meeny.
Right. Probably like the 500th favorite, most famous, but thank you for that.
Yeah, I'd just like to see some of the same things you guys are saying, like more Toledo. I'd like to see some of the other characters more fleshed out too, but I mean, I don't want to see more of Esmeralda, but I really want to figure out why she's in Toledo.
Right.
It just doesn't make sense.
Maybe maybe Ice could just.
Was there a bad relationship or letter there? So, yeah.
We shouldn't talk politics. My bad.
No, that's fine. We talk politics on this show way too much, but it's good.
Yeah.
But
a little bit with that.
We had somebody recently say that they wrote really bad grammar, of course, but then told us that that we were okay to make fun of Trump, but we made fun of Hulk Hogan, and somehow that was like going over the line.
That's right, brother.
All right.
Yeah. So yeah. So
everybody's got their line, man. You know what? Don't be.
I know.
Do you and just cross whatever lines you feel like, and be true to yourself.
Today we got another comment where somebody said, why do Americans talk so much? You guys talk too much. It's like, it's a podcast. What else did you expect us to do on it?
I can play you a song in my armpit if you want, but I don't think that's really why you've tuned in, guys. So,
anyways, I'd like to thank Brady and Cheryl for joining us. So, Cheryl, do you have anything you want to plug here at the end here?
Well, just my podcast, American International Podcast, and Pop Culture Junkie. So you can go to popculturejunkie.com for Pop Culture Junkie stuff, and AIPpod.com for American International. Love to have some more listeners.
And Brady?
I've just got the Holy Toledo Podcast with Tom, which we're just still trying to get off the ground. So it's kind of a new thing, but come and check us out. If you're interested in Toledo and the stuff that's going on around Toledo, it's kind of all over the place right now because we're trying to find our thing. But I think we're going to be focusing more on trying to do some of the stuff in the area, especially entertainment and what's going on in Toledo and what makes Toledo unique because, we live here and I'm at that age where I've finally gotten over I'm too cool to be in Toledo. Toledo's actually pretty badass, and I've realized that my wife moved here from Arizona and she, I'm learning through her that, we got a lot going on. She moved from Phoenix, which is a huge city.
That's where I live.
And she loves, there you go. You went the other way. She loves it here. I mean, other than the weather.
Is it exchange?
Yeah, exactly right. We're 1-to-1. I'm just like Jerry Seinfeld. One leaves, another one comes. That's how it works.
Yeah, I'm thinking that what we all need for our podcasts and make them, stick is we all need an Esmeralda on the show. And no, I'm joking.
And we kill her.
So, anyways, thank you guys.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah, thank you very much.
Problem.
This was fun.
Okay, that was our review there with our guests, Cheryl Lightfoot and Brady Kesling. Good show. I recommend checking out The Paper on Peacock. All 10 episodes of the first season are on there. Anything else you want to say about it here before we wrap things up, Sesame?
No, it was really fun. I had a good time talking to them. I think that I have a lot of good insights into the show and pop culture in general.
Yeah. I agree. Folks, if you could just do us a favor, and here's something you can do online. It doesn't involve paper at all. Go to all2reeltoo.com and check out all of our links there. We have a link to our TeePublic where you can buy some shirts, or things on paper. I guess you can get like posters and stuff there too. So you could do that. You could also go to our Patreon and help support the show there. Patreon.
Yeah.
Paper tree. See, and paper comes from trees.
Yeah, it does.
So it makes sense somehow, right?
Kind of. Yeah.
Not really at all. But anyways, folks, check out that. Also, be sure to follow us on all of our social media. We got links on there to that as well. Check out the podcasts of our guests, the American International Podcast and Holy Toledo Podcast. There'll be links to that in the show notes. Also, just be good. There's like a cop car outside here where I'm recording, so that's kind of interesting, making some kind of weird noises. So that's cool. You never know when you're recording in your apartment and weird things happen. It was making a weird noise like, "Ow!" So I thought it was a wolf at first, but no, it sounds like a car of some sort. So anywho, folks. Just remember that trans lives are human lives. No human is illegal. Free Palestine. Fuck the oligarchy.
Yeah.
Support journalism. That's a good thing too. You can do support journalism. Support local journalism. Support free independent journalism as well.
That's actually some important things you can do right now is to support actual real journalism.
Yeah.
There's a reason why Superman became a journalist, because that's not by accident. That's to show how important real news and journalism is.
Yeah. And just be good to each other, be different, be yourself. That's always a good thing. And just remember that I love you. I think our guests probably love you.
Probably.
Sesame loves you, right, Sesame?
I always love them.
Yes. And until next time, bye-bye.
Thanks for listening to All2ReelToo Podcast, a Cullen Park production. Produced and edited by Michael E. Cullen II. Music by Matthew Hawes. Subscribe and share the show. Visit us at cullenpark.com.
Starting a business can seem like a daunting task, unless you have a partner like Shopify. They have the tools you need to start and grow your business. From designing a website to marketing to selling and beyond, Shopify can help with everything you need. There's a reason millions of companies like Mattel, Heinz, and Allbirds continue to trust and use them. With Shopify on your side, turn your big business idea into... Sign up for your $1 per month trial at shopify.com/special offer.